This is a coal mine called Hasard. It's in the town of Cheratte, which is near Liège in Belgium. Most of what you see was built in the 1860s. The mine was shut down in 1977. A lot of people stayed around and provided a willing and able labor force for steel mills. Obviously, the mine and the buildings are an integral part of the town. I mean, they front right on one of the main streets. The coal conveyor actually forms that bridge and runs right over one of the main streets. So this was a major player in this town, and the town probably grew up around the mine. One of my favorite shots that I've taken today at Hasard is this one from the new tower looking back at the original building. And I shot it in infrared. So you've got this beautiful old castle-like stone building surrounded by these snow-white trees. It's just a fantastic shot.
When we go out exploring these buildings, it's usually as a team, but it's still a very personal experience, in part because I usually just go off on my own and explore the building solo, or the act of looking through a viewfinder has a way of focusing a view and isolating a view, and it really takes you away from the surroundings and whoever else might be with you at the time.
This is cool. Looks like to be some old respirators in an electrical room.
A good example of finding things that really give you a sense of the space and the people who are in it are the respirator masks that we found at Hasard. You can almost see the person who was there last on their last day of work, hanging it up and then punching his clock and putting his card in the slot. Without those fine details, even though they're not things that I find interesting photographically per se, they really help build the context for a space and give you a sense of why a building was important to people.
Are these respirators?
They are. Check this out. So you'd have the cartridge, which is now long gone in here. Breathing.
No, put it on. Put it on.
No.
Guillaume, enchanté.
Russell.
Bonjour.
Mathieu?
Kevin. On vient de France.
On vient de France ou de Paris?
Ouais. J'ai rarement vu une friche comme ça, quoi.
À Paris, ils ont tout, depuis 2 ou 3 ans, ils ont tout détruit pour faire du neuf.
Du nouveau, ouais. On attend de monter tout en haut pour voir la vue qui doit être exceptionnelle.
Par avant ou en arrière?
Par devant, on a sauté direct.
It's cool that wherever you go exploring, you sometimes run into other people, and it's quite common. Wherever I've been, I think, you know, at least half the time we've run into somebody, and sure enough, here we run into a couple of Parisians that are here for the exact same reason we are. A bit of an adventure and take some pictures and a road trip at the same time. What's sometimes challenging is the different routes people take to get into a place. Where we are trying to be a little careful about being seen, we come around the back, and these guys come in right in the front door, which could expose us all if this was a high-risk area to be in, but there's not much you can do about that.
Is that fun?
The light is amazing.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
We came on a really good day.
I did this one.
Yeah, it's a great lens. A friend of mine lent it to me. I do a lot of my shooting with that one. Sorry.
This tower that we're in right now is modeled after a Russian design called, I believe, a Marakow Tower. And most of them were demolished, and this is probably one of the only ones outside of Russia, and maybe one of the only standing ones.
I hate heights. So going, 7 stories up on a grid floor is just, I can freeze sometimes, and if I freeze, that's it. I've scaled walls, I've climbed up decrepit fire escapes, I've gone across roofs, but the payoff has to be there, There's sometimes places that aren't worth the risk. I have no intention of dying for it, at all.
You keep ratcheting up what it takes to make you go, wow. But, that being said, this is still probably one of the cooler places I've ever been.
There's only so much information you can find online, and the rest you just have to get there and experience. Like this place, for example. This is much larger than I was expecting. Frankly, it's better than I was expecting. The climb in was more difficult than I was expecting, and it's been such a reward, such a payoff. This is an amazing location.
Well, we still got lots of time on the trip, and we have real castles here. They had to build it taller. Not that I'm not kidding. Designated driver as always.
Yeah, everybody's there. Once you're in, you're in. Here's Belgium.